The year is 1994. A British character designer is sitting in his office thinking of cool new enemies for the radical rebirth of the Donkey Kong franchise. He thinks, I hate wasps. You hate wasps. Why don't we put 5,000 of them in Forest Frenzy? An icon was born. These wasps have been a frequent skill check in the Donkey Kong games, armed with gigantic stingers, spikes on top, totally immune to the Kong's rolling and jumping attacks, unless they're riding on a giant frog named Winky, of course. Incredible game design. So apparently these enemies are wasps, but also they make honey, and they have a queen bee? Are they bees or are they wasps? I'm no zoologist, and I've fried my brain playing too much Emerald Rush to contemplate this. Lucky for all of us, there's a channel specifically chronicling the real-life inspiration behind the creatures in Donkey Kong. We had better subscribe if we want to understand these odd creatures.
Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you there. Let me just quickly step out of my honey tub before I go up to say hi. It's good to see you guys. I'm just here with my Zinger friends at the Zinger colony on Crocodile Isle, and you know, I'm gonna really miss these guys. I've had a lot of quality bonding time with them. They're actually really nice if you get to know them. They're not that mean at all. And you know, I'm gonna miss them when I have to go back home. I'm wondering if maybe there's a way I could still see them when I'm back home, and I wonder if there's a real-life species of wasp that reflects Zinger. But to figure out what type of wasp Zinger is, first we're gonna have to look at some of their key traits.
Loading. Zinger traits.
Before we look at some of their key traits, I would like to give a big shout out and thank you to Catrello from Kong Compendium. Let's all give him a big round of applause. He's a cool ass dude. If any of you of my 116 subscribers haven't seen this guy, he makes a lot of great Donkey Kong videos, just ranging from topics of in-game lore, history, and like what would be called current events. That makes it sound more serious than it actually is, but you know what I mean. News, updates. Anyway, go check him out. Something that Catrella pointed out that is really important to figure out what type of wasp species Zinger is, that is really hard to say, is the fact that zingers make honey. And if you don't know this, wasps don't make honey. So it's going to be kind of hard to find what species of wasp Zinger is.
Zingers made an impact in the first DKC, but the Kongs handily dealt with them, including their queen. They take the fight straight to the hive in DKC 2, where we can see the honey dripping from every surface of their lair. We see larvae and pupa peeking out from the honeycomb as the Kongs make their way to the big bad of Crazy Kremland. King Zing's sting puts up more of a fight than Queen Bee did, but he went down all the same.
But some of its other traits include its colors, which is primarily yellow, but it can also be red or green. They also tend to have black stripes, black heads, and in their latest appearance, which of course is Donkey Kong Bonanza, their antennas are orange as well as their legs.
And they were a sight for sore eyes in Donkey Kong Bonanza. You can find Zingers encased in amber in the freezer layer, and if you stick it through to the end, you can see their grand return in the planet core. Augmented with Void Kong's technology, they choose to throw rocks at Donkey Kong in this game.
Their bodies are also kind of like a crescent shape, I would say. They're angular and round at the same time because they're mean and they're bees. I don't know, they're a crescent shape. Zingers are also pretty damn large. They're about the same size as Diddy Kong. Some unique traits that they have, of course, they have those iconic spikes on their backs, comically large stinger, really big eyes. They're pretty aggressive. The kind of like typical Zingers that you come across either attack Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, you know, the whole Kong crew by guarding stationarily or by patrolling in a set pattern. However, the queen and king of the Zinger colony will actively pursue the Kong family.
With their king and queen out of the picture, you might think that Zingers were cooked as a species, but somehow they returned in DK64. This time they fly out of sight and drop grenades down on your head. This is very annoying, but they make up for it by giving them a very satisfying death sound. The Zinger streak would continue into the Payon games, being a regular nuisance in DK King of Swing and Jungle Climber. Their look and behavior matches their DKC appearances. They just sort of buzz around.
They're also pretty much found in every environment imaginable. They're up in snowy peaks, icy lakes, caves with pools of lava. They're really everywhere, and they can tolerate any type of climate there is. Now, if you've seen my video tackling what species of bee Buzz is from Donkey Kong Country 3, you will know that there is a candidate that might seem pretty obvious to attribute to a killer wasp such as Buzz or Zinger, and that would be the Asian giant hornet. These guys are kind of just the standard big mean wasp that exists in our real world. And taking a look at them, some things that they have in common with Zinger are their yellow color. Sometimes they even have like kind of a reddish tint, so they're a bit more orange. They are the biggest wasp species on the entire planet, so, you know, really big like Zinger. They're very hostile, but otherwise not much else lines up with Zinger. Their heads are predominantly yellow. They have small eyes. They've got black antennas, black legs. And they're only found in Asia in temperate and tropical regions. And last but not least, they don't make honey. So, yeah, the fact that zingers make honey is really important to them, as you can see. And it's going to be a hard time to find, you know, a wasp that makes honey because, again, they don't. Well, what if I actually told you that wasps can make honey, and that for your whole life, people have been lying to you and gatekeeping the fact that they make a delicious, sweet substance? I don't know like why people don't know this. I don't know why I didn't know this. Like no one knows this, but they actually do. And apparently it's really good, and in some places it's even considered a delicacy. Take, for example, the Mexican honey wasp. This was the first wasp I found when I was looking for, you know, wasps that make honey. I just Googled, do wasps make honey? And this was the only thing that came up. Unfortunately, Zinger isn't the Mexican honey wasp. The Mexican honey wasp is too small, its range isn't wide enough, and they're not particularly aggressive. So, shit, if that's like the only wasp that makes honey, and it's barely like Zinger, then what could it be between that and the Asian giant hornet? Oh wait, the paper wasp makes honey. You know the paper wasp, right? They're everywhere. I'm sure you've seen them before. They're very common. I used to have them at my childhood home all the time growing up. They were super annoying. And this entire time, when my father was disposing of their nests and just throwing them away all casually, you're telling me they had honey? Really? And if you search up, do paper wasps make honey, Google will lie to you. Any search engine, everything you look this up, it'll lie to you. It'll say that they don't make honey. It'll say that they only make paper nests. But I found a video. Of like the world's like, probably not the biggest insect fan or like person, whatever, insect professional, but this guy who loves insects and he knows a lot about insects. He gets the paper wasp comb and he eats the honey, and it's actually pretty good. They just make it a different way compared to bees, because wasps, instead of, you know, making it with like pollen or, you know, whatever bees eat, I don't know much about bees. Wasps, however, they make their honey, or I guess their kind of sugary, waxy substance, by processing chewed up insects. But because their honey is kind of made in this way, and I'll like say honey in quotes, it's not like very common, and it's not something that's easily harvested, and that's why you probably have never heard of it. But it's real. They make honey, and apparently it's pretty good, and I actually want to try some. I might buy some at some point. I don't know, I'm getting off track. Anyway, wasps do make honey, and one of these wasps includes the paper wasp. So the paper wasp actually has a lot in common with Zinger. The paper wasp comes in colors of yellow and red. You know, they're not green, but whatever. Yellow and red, awesome. Their heads are predominantly black. They come in like kind of a crescent shape, or like their abdomen is a crescent shape. In terms of size, they can range from about 1/2 inch to a little over an inch. So while they're not the biggest wasps, they are pretty big for, you know, a wasp, just like Zinger is. Some unique traits that they have also include their large eyes and their orange antennas and orange legs. I'm pretty sure, you know, not all of them have orange antennas or orange legs, but looking at pictures of them on Google, quite a lot of them do. So we're gonna count that. These guys are also very hostile. I can say that even from personal experience because they were all around like my house growing up. They're assholes. They're terrifying. I'm terrified of wasps and they are the reason. They'll attack you even if they're not being provoked. They just suck. They're found pretty much all over the world. Like, their range is massive, and they're also pretty resilient in cold and hot environments. And once again, most importantly of all, is that they make honey. Now, do they have giant spikes on their backs? No. But, you know, not including that, everything else lines up. So, I guess if we were to, you know, attribute a real-life species of wasp to Zinger, it would be the paper wasps, which is pretty cool. So now if you see a paper wasp in real life, you can point at it, and it could be like, oh my god, it's Zinger from Donkey Kong. And your world is now a little more magical. Anyway, if there is another Donkey Kong character or enemy or creature or whatever that you want to know what the species of it is, leave a comment down below and I will look into it. So far I have covered Naughty, Buzz, and Clump, and after this video I'll be taking a look at Screech. But yeah, leave a comment for what you want to see next, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. I'm not gonna do that. That's too aggressive. That's too aggressive. I'm sorry. That was inappropriate.